Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Postcard. My name is Alex, and today we are going to be continuing right where we left off in Elden Ring. You'll notice right away that, wow, this doesn't sound like you're talking over the gameplay that you're playing right now. This doesn't sound like your normal gameplay commentary. And you'd be completely correct. This is a voiceover, and this entire episode is going to be a voiceover, and it's going to be very, very different than any of the Elden Ring videos that you've seen from me, or maybe if this is your first time, don't get used to this type of content because this isn't normally what I do. I don't normally do voiceovers. But first things first, I just wanted to get that out of the way. The audio that I had recorded, like my original microphone audio over the gameplay, was just way too quiet, and I couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear my voice at all over the gameplay. The gameplay was so loud, my microphone was so quiet, and I don't even know why that was happening, but hopefully this episode isn't too much different. It's actually 2 episodes combined into one, so it's about 2 hours-ish of gameplay condensed down into what you'll see as less than 20 minutes. So hopefully that isn't too different than what you're used to, and hopefully that this is, good enough. But yeah, we just started off exploring Lane Dell a little bit here. We got a golden rune level 10 right there, and I find this gate, and I literally said in the video, I think we've tried to open this gate before. I don't think we can open it. And then I see that we can indeed open it, so I, come on, push through the gate, come on. Oh, there we go. We get the gate open, and we find an entirely new area. And I don't know what these enemies are. They're terrible little buggers, and I don't like them very much at all. But we got an iron cleaver, and I'm trying to include as much of the items that I discover in this video that I can, because I don't know what's rare and what's not rare. Again, this is still my very first ever playthrough. Like there, I include that I found some beast blood. Like I don't know how rare beast blood is, and I take out these 2 dogs, and I get another golden rune. This time it is level 9, which is very nice. But this is like a back area to wherever we were hanging out, and wherever we just discovered, and I happily dispatch of these 2 things, and I find a lightning-proof dried liver. Apparently, if you eat those, it gives you some sort of resistance. And then I run into this guy. I think what these are called are the misbegotten, actually, if I'm not incorrect, because this looks a lot like Leonine, the misbegotten enemy, or a misbegotten boss that I fought near the beginning of this series, maybe in the first 10 episodes. But we call in our boy Oleg to help us out with these guys, and of course I have no heals because I got absolutely destroyed when I first got in here, and we're not gonna worry about that. But this sorcerer is buffing everyone, and there's the first death of the episode. So hopefully you enjoyed me absolutely perishing here. Yeah, cool, I died, great. But this time we were much more lucky, and the top of our sword clipped that misbegotten. It was no big deal. We take out the sorcerer. Actually, Oleg took out the sorcerer, and then we find this huge lift. Little did I know I was discovering something very, very big for the story, very significant for the storyline. So we yank this lever, and then we take the world's longest elevator ride. Well, one of the longest elevator rides in the episode, so we just sped up through that. We drank some potions, I think we just did there. And we walk up, and I see this, and I'm like, oh, wow. Is this a boss fight arena? I actually don't know what it is at this point. So we run up to it, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to be fighting a boss. I don't think I'm ready for a boss, because I just started the episode. We got a Flame Drake talisman. Pretty sure that just negates some flame damage if you equip it. Bob and weave. Get away from that guy with the crossbow. You can't touch this, son. And then we read this little seal here, and it says, sealed by Morgott the Grace Given. Who in the hell is Morgott? We level up our vigor here. I think we're going to try and get that to 50. I think that was my goal because I wanted a little bit more health. If we're going to fight Morgott the Grace Given, who I'm assuming is a boss. We get a stone sword key after doing a nice little Assassin's Creed jump there, and we're getting shot at by Mr. Lightning Boy up there. Come across this dude who's just chilling over here. I don't know. He was onlooking, and then we get this pickled turtleneck. I don't know if that's very good either. We got 3 pickled turtlenecks, it looks like. I then discover this little graveyard area, I suppose. Take out the skelly bones that are guarding it, which are totally not annoying at all, and their resurrection ability definitely didn't make me mad while I was recording it at all. Totally not Totally not. We get another stone sword key, which is very nice. And then we discover this guy who was a lot more of a challenge than I thought he would be, because he just looked like another normal enemy. He was not. He was a beefy enemy, and I think we get like over 3,000 runes for taking him out. I broke his stance for like less than 1 second, which was absolutely crazy to me. I thought that he was going to be much, 3,800 runes there. I forgot what we get here. Oh, a hero's rune level 5. That's absolutely crazy. Golden rune 9. We got so many runes. Take another elevator. And after taking this elevator, we come to the very first area that we entered in Lane Dell. What? It's that one, I forgot, East Rampart, maybe? It's right by the East Rampart site of Grace. But we immediately leave Lane Dell because I was like, I don't really want to be exploring here anymore. We turn this on. It says Guide and Gatekeeper for those returning to the roots. I have no idea what that means. So maybe if somebody could comment down below what that's all about. And then I don't exactly remember where we are here, but this guy, he's got a lightning sword, and he said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take you out, but I said, I'm actually a lot more powerful than you, so I'm going to chop you in half, buddy. And he dropped something here. What was it called? Pick it up, Alex. What was it? Yeah, Dragon Cult Prayer Book. Not sure what that does. And then I get this message, the Beast Eye quivers, from when we got the Beast Eye from Beast Clergyman Garank. And I didn't remember what that means, but it means that there's a death root nearby. So figured it was on this Tibia Mariner. And I think I would be correct, because right there we got a death root, but that Tibia Mariner took 0 time at all and totally didn't speed up that boss fight. That's just how fast I did it. Collect a beast blood there, and then I come across this, just like a spectral army and a spectral giant, like a spectral war giant or something. Take all those guys out, no big deal. Get some golden runes, and we have a freaking glintstone sniper on the top of that tower giving me a hard time. Like, why don't you get out of here? Highway Lookout Tower, I believe is what that said. We check this chest. You know what we get. We get something cool. We get the Glintstone Craftsman's Cookbook number 3. You know how it is. And then we eliminate him with prejudice, because I hate mages. We also get a Karin Glint Blade staff. Probably won't use that for anything. But then I say, hey, we should probably go into this area where I was circling. And we find another Tibia Mariner. But he has this giant ghoul whack-a-mole skeleton guy, and it was one of the most annoying enemies I've fought in this entire game so far. I cannot express to you how much I hated that thing. And I just really hope we never run into another one of those again. But there's our second Tibia Mariner taken out for this episode. 14,000 runes, a death root, and Tibia's summons. Not sure what that means, but here we go. This was actually the end of the first episode that I recorded. And we found whatever this is, the Skelly Bones. I was trying to activate the thing, and he said no. But there we go. Put in our stone sword key. Go into whatever dungeon this is. I forgot what it was called. What was it called? Oh, I guess we'll never know. I think it was just like, I don't think it was named. Either way, it doesn't matter if it was named or not, because we found a chest in here. And what was in that chest? The Pearl Drake Talisman +1. And what that does is it reduces all non-physical attack damage, I believe. But then we come over to Mount Gelmir, and there's this like canyon. In the episode, I think I called it the Gelmir Canyon. I don't remember, but it's just like this little river that runs down here. We get the Barrage Ash of War. Not sure what that's used for. If I had to guess, it would have to do with arrows. Get a golden seed, get a nascent butterfly, and then we take on these like xenomorph-looking things because of their giant fat heads, and bonk, death blighted. Oh, isn't that so fun? I just love when I get death blighted. Ha 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 ha. Isn't that great? We go and retrieve our runes because we had 63,000 of them, so I was very sad. Quickly clear out these nothing enemies. Use our stone sword key to open up what I believe is like a dungeon of some kind. What was it called? Yeah, Seethwater Cave. So, hey, all the people that wanted me to find more caves, I did, and then we discover this site of grace, and I think we might level up like our endurance here or something. Nope, we don't level up anything here, but yeah, there's just like these poison pools all over, and we have to fight these like boogers that fell from the ceiling. So that was another really fun thing. Glad that we had to do that. Yeah, take this booger. Ow, he hit me. I didn't like that very much. even though the boogers were smacking me around a little bit, they were like the least of my concerns in here, because then we see these guys like worshiping a tree, these mushroom dudes with their poison ball staffs, and obviously I avoided it for as long as I could, but everyone will succumb to the poison, even your champion Tarnished. I was poisoned when I found this next thing, the Kindred of Rot boss fight. I call in Oleg, even though I really didn't need Oleg. I could have easily taken these guys out without Oleg, or Oleg could have honestly soloed both of these guys just because it was so easy. We get the Kindred of Rot's Exaltation, a couple runes, a fireproof dried liver after we left the cave, and then we also discover this site of grace that was directly outside of like this castle, this encampment. We level up our endurance once there, and then we take on the living furnaces, because I just wanted to show you guys that I've improved a lot since I've started playing this game. I was such a scared little boy when I first started playing, and now I'm a man who takes out the living furnaces with no problems. But then, our biggest challenge of this episode yet, well, technically the second episode I recorded that's included in this video, doesn't matter, the magma worm. Oh yeah, I call in Oleg, he gets taken out pretty quickly, so now it's just me versus the magma worm. This thing is so just creepy. I totally didn't have any problems getting in to do damage with all of his fire and lava spitting attacks. The magma, I guess. That totally wasn't a problem at all. We get, I think, a dragon heart from him. Yeah, and then I hear this. I have absolutely no idea what that was, and I'm like, is somebody cooking alive inside of this magma? This Mustafarian-looking magma? Oh my god. Star Wars Episode 3. So good. Maybe the best Star Wars movie. And then I hear them yelling more, and I'm like, oh my god! It's Alexander! Hi, Alexander! How we doing?
Ah, good sir. What business might you have in such a place as this? I hardly think you're here to temper yourself with flame, considering that fleshly form of yours. Your timing, though, is impeccable as ever. I've been making just the thing for you on my journey here. Take it. I'm sure it'll suit you to a T.
He gave me a jar.
But, it's hardly more than lukewarm here. I won't be able to temper my body such that it'll never crack again. Perhaps I'll head eastward. There's an old saying I've caught wind of. Above the lofty clouds, the icy giant's peak doth soar. Here lieth the flame of ruin, which ever burning roars.
Always a good time seeing Alexander. I love that pot. I love that guy so much. That great warrior pot, Alexander. He's the bro. He's the dude. We love Alexander. We then find this little, like, I don't even know what you call those, but I collected a bunch of runes, find the Hermit Shack, Roiling Magma, I think that's like some kind of summon. We then see this, which, you know, break it open with the rune bear, and we get, I believe, just a couple smithing stones from it. Obviously, I destroyed this rune bear, no problem. I'm just too strong of a tarnish to even worry about it, but a little bit earlier, when I got the jar from Alexander, you could hear how quiet the audio was, and that is with the audio increased to 200%, so it's double how loud it was, and you could still, like, barely hear me, and that was with, like, no game audio going on in the background, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't fighting anything or anything like that, but, yeah, it was just super unfortunate. Doesn't matter. We're doing a voiceover. I kill that abductor virgin, no problem, and then I smack that howler in the face for just existing. We find, I think, the Hermit Village, that's what it's called, and then we just kill everything in there, and we get this prattling plate, I believe it says, and it just says, "You're beautiful." No idea what that means. We also get the starlight shards, and what was this? Yes, the Herodotus glintstone crown. It was just some kind of armor set. I bet you it'd be cool for mages. This guy smacks me. I didn't like that very much, and all of his friends are shooting at me, but then we see Demi-Human Queen Maggie. Yet another boss fight this episode. How many is that? Is that 5 boss fights in one episode? That's a little bit crazy. We get an Academy Glintstone staff there, some string. destroy Maggie. She stood no chance. 15,000 runes. How nice. Got a memory stone. Isn't that so sick? And then we go to talk to this guy, but doesn't actually say anything. I just keep waiting for them to say something, and nothing ever gets said. But yeah, we discover the site of grace. Level up our endurance once again because, endurance is great. We love leveling up our endurance. But like I said, he wouldn't say anything to me. And then we actually went over to see if he was going to talk and say something to me, but he just sits there and doesn't do anything. Hello? Nothing. But he gave me Comet Azure, which is something that I also won't be using. And I look at this ledge and I'm like, I bet you I can drop. And I could. You have no idea how shocked I actually was when I landed there. And I was like, yes, I can land here and I don't die. Anyway, we then walk over to this gate and we open it up, go down the world's longest elevator. This was the longest elevator in the episode. And then we discover this site of grace just up here in Gelmir Hero's Grave. I did actually go and explore it a little bit. I did die once. The beast eye quivers. But then we replace our helmet and we put on Lionel's helm because look how sick that thing looks. Anyway, make our way back to Lane Dell. And you see this dragon? This dragon is climbable. Somebody commented last episode, episode 34, that I should try and climb the dragon. So that's exactly what I do here. Speed it up a little bit. But I didn't want to speed it up too much, pick up a bunch of gravel stone, and I'm like, oh, is this as high as I can go on the dragon? Must be. Oh, here's the edge of the wings. Can't go up any higher than that. But guess what, Alex? You can. You can go much higher on the dragon, and I noticed that right here. Bonk. Hit the ground, grab some more gravel stone. Don't actually know what that does. I should probably look at the item description for it. Pick up whatever this is. It's a rune arc. Climb the ladder. We see this guy defending something, so I'm like, oh, it must be so cool, whatever you're defending. He stabs me. That was not very nice of him, but he did it anyway. More gravel stones. So much gravel stone. So many gravel stones and so many sites of grace this episode. And so many boss fights like this, who I called White Blade Kindred just because he's another gargoyle that gave me a super hard time. Just kidding. I absolutely demolished him. Look how fast I took him out. This is not sped up footage. I got a cane sword too. I thought that was cool. Maybe I'll do an entire playthrough just built around a cane sword. Like the Ezekiel build. Or something like that. Shout out The Walking Dead. Love that show. But took him out so easily. Got the Gargoyle's Halberd. Took out some of these Bubble Boys because the Bubble Boys don't deserve me. And I don't deserve the Bubble Boys. I got a golden seed, baby. And this guy, I don't know what he was defending. Well, I didn't know what he was defending initially. Take him out with a couple of stabby stabs and a couple roll-away attacks. And then this guy, I thought he was going to be the same level of boss fight as his friend. But he was not. I took him out with ease. Thank goodness for blood loss because, yeah. Anyway, ritual shield talisman gotten. And then we... Come on! Open up this door. And that's actually where we end it. We end this episode in the Royal Colosseum after we learn about duels. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay commentary summary style video. It was what I had to do for these 2 episodes. So I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Also, if you like the content on this channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you're notified on every single video that I do. Share this video with a friend, a family member, or an enemy. Comment down below any tips and tricks that you have here for me in Elden Ring. I'm going to need them. Next episode shouldn't be like this, but either done enough yapping for this outro. Either done enough yapping? Anyway, I can't talk. Peace out and keep looking beautiful, everybody. Hopefully this episode wasn't too different for you.